Yay, I'm back. This will be my fourth video of my shuttle bus build, and you can watch these on at Tramp Traveler in YouTube. Go to the search and search in YouTube and put in at Tramp Traveler, not the one that says Tramp Traveler 4880. That's another guy. And I think he speaks Asian Indian, so you probably wouldn't understand him anyway. Anyway, this video is going to be an ongoing set of videos about building out my 2011 shuttle bus into a handicap camper, because I'm handicapped. And I'm going to throw in a little of what I've done today and probably finish this up tomorrow. Okay, this is the rear end of the bus, and over here is my water tank that I've talked about before. And this morning I put in the inlets, the vent tube, and the fill valve or fill pipe. They're going to hook up down there. However, I can't hook them up until I've moved this thing out a couple of times here. I got to put in some structure for a bed that's going to go all the way across the shuttle, well, almost all the way across, but I've got to be able to get to this unistrut down here to start the build on that beds, and then I'll also use these unistruts down here at the floor for some of the structure. Now I'm going to build this bed so that the center part of it will fold up, the portion that's as wide as this window. And the reason I'm not going to make the whole thing fold up, excuse the hiccups, is because over in this corner I'm going to build out some cupboards, but it's going to be above where my feet will be, so that I can be able to lay full length on my bed. And I'm going to do the same thing over in this corner. And over in this corner, my electrical will be put in there. It'll be things like battery charger, inverter, charge controller, all the fuse blocks, shutoffs, 110 volt breaker box, and shutoffs. Everything's going to be up in that corner. Plus there'll be some room for a pantry in there. And then down below here, right below the window, between this original heater, right over in this area, I'm going to have my LifePo 4 lithium batteries. I've got 4 of them, and they're 100 amp hours each, so I'll have at least 400 amp hours with room to add more in there too. And I've already got an inverter and a charge controller that are big enough to be able to handle that now. So I've got some rubber matting, which I'm going to place underneath there to help insulate the floor a little bit. But I'm probably also going to get some heater pads to put under it that you use for things like chickens or lizards or whatever. They're just a flexible mat, and I've got a temperature controller that only turn on when it's supposed to. Keep the batteries warm, because lithiums aren't supposed to get below freezing temperature in order to, you can use them, but you can't charge them. It'll ruin them. Then also today, I put in my tank fill for this diesel fuel tank. That's on the outside, and it's a screw-in cap, and that's right above where my gas fill is for my gas engine. And so I can pull up to a pump and fill both of those tanks up. The clear tube is PVC, which is good for fuels. And I'm going to try not to do a vent on it. This tank has a place for a vent, but I don't really want to vent out to that. The fill didn't have a place for a vent in it like the water fill has. But if I go slow enough with my fuel filling, I think it'll burp itself well enough. It's an all the way downhill trip for the fuel. And then it's got an opening in the top. I got it covered up with that red box right now because I pulled out a fuel gauge, the type that's got a float on a lever, and I couldn't determine what ohms it was. And there's several different ohm resistor types, so I couldn't just buy a gauge for it. I tried ohming it out with my meter, but it just acted stupid, like it didn't have any continuity, and maybe it didn't, I don't know. Anyway, that'll have a gauge that I'll place in that window right above there, and I'll have it on a little bit of a pivot so I can watch it as I'm filling it, but also be able to turn it around so that I can see it from the inside, so that I know how much fuel I've got left in my 28-gallon diesel fuel tank. Now, this diesel fuel tank, I've mentioned in other videos, is for a diesel heater, which the line will go right up here, and the diesel heater will be right up in here, and it'll be vented right out the back, and be up where I can reach it real easy to do repairs. All I've got to do is pull the mattress off the bed, fold the bed up. I can walk right up to it and work on it. But folding that bed up in that portion too will also give me good access to my batteries, and I'll already have access to all my power over here because there'll be a door on it. Let's see, what else? Oh, I finished hanging my shower curtain rod up here. It's right behind the driver's seat, and it's just temporary there to hang a shower curtain on it, and then have a RV shower tub right below it, and then a RV toilet right over here where that perforated rubber mat is. That mat is for my shower, which is going to be over here in my lift. It's going to cover the steel mesh, so it's more comfortable to walk on. That's going to be my real shower. It'll be a shower curtain that swings out around there, and that'll let the water from the shower just drain it on the ground. It gets there anyway, right? So anyway, I think that's about all I've got to talk about for today. I'll be adding to this video once I have more that I can add to it. Thanks. Catch you later. Oh, check out my 3 other videos at Tramp Traveler on the YouTube search at Tramp Traveler. Right where you found this one, probably, I hope. Oh, and subscribe and like it. I've got 1 subscriber already. I had to almost force him to do it. He's a good guy. I watch all his videos, and he's building out a box van. You might go and watch his videos too. His videos are under Van Life Meow. MEOW. Van Life Meow. He's a cat lover. Catch you later. It's Monday morning, and yesterday after church I went to a Lowe's lumber and picked up some lumber to build the bed in the back and the beginning of some cupboard framework, 2x3s. This is my little tilt trailer, and those 2 toolboxes will be rolled over onto their narrow bottom and placed on the outer edges of both sides, and I'll be able to store all kinds of stuff in there, all kinds of tools, compressor, tarps, you name it. Anyway, you can also see there's a flagpole there. If the sun doesn't kill it, it's extendable flagpole, and you put that underneath one of your tires and then extend it up. I think it's 16 foot, the guy said. Got that for $25. Anyway, right now I'm on my way to the hardware store. I got a bunch of hardware yesterday for building, but I forgot to get some 1/2-inch flat washers that the bolts will go through these 2x3s and into the unistrut, and also some lag screws, some 3-inch long lag screws. Anyway, got to get back and get this all unloaded. This is that 2x3 by 8 foot lumber that I got yesterday. I got 8 pieces of it so far. It might be enough, but I kind of doubt it. Anyway, that should have been found in the sporting goods department to be used for skis. Some of it is kind of crooked, but we picked out the best we could get. And underneath there is a water tank that's going to pretend to be a black water tank. I'm going to spray paint it with that paint you see there and tuck it up underneath the skirt of the shuttle bus right up in there. Should be able to set up in there. And I might anchor it good enough just that it'll stay there to be carried around. Maybe someday use it, but it's going to have to, if it's going to be used as a tank, it's going to have to be mounted really solid with an angle iron frame. But for right now, I'll probably just use some plumber strap or something like that to hold it up under there good. And I got a bunch of hardware which I gotta take into the other side. As you can see up here, I've got a vinyl logo on the window. These are plexiglass windows. I got a heater to try to peel those off there before I put the perforated white one-way vinyl on all these windows. And I think I'm just going to put that vinyl on the lower halves of the windows. It's all that's really needed. You know, it'd be too tough to put it on the top ones too. Anyway, you can see where I put my diesel fuel cap right above my gas fuel cap. That'd be handy for pulling into a gas station, be able to fill both tanks. Over here I've got a small scaffold that I've been using for when I do the painting, and down there in the tall grass I've got a basket carrier for the back end of the rear hitch. This is a 2006 Ford E350 that I have, which I've got a VA, that's a Veteran Association or Administration provided handicap lift on, and they also gave me a nice handicap lift, or a handicap cart, which has turf tires on it, so I can go just about anywhere. You notice down at the bottom left corner of the hitch there's another 2-inch ball sticking out there, which that can be pulled out of there, but I had that put on there so that if I wanted to connect to the front end of my cargo trailer back there, I could guide that into parking spot in a campground easier, you know, being a single person, than trying to back it in. And although I can put cameras on everything, I've got a camera actually on the front of that looking right at that ball. But this hitch is all going to be transferred to the front end of my Ford E450 shuttle bus, and I'll be able to take my handicap cart along with me, and use that, you know, to go into some stores that don't have lifts or handicap carts, you know. But I'm gonna be selling this van and this. It's a 5x10 cargo trailer that I've fitted out, and that actually is all fitted out for camping. With oh man, it's got everything. It's got solar, it's got batteries, it's got a 1500 watt inverter. It's got 110 volts. It's got 12 volts all through it with LED lights. It's got a single bed, a twin bed, which as it folds up, it also folds down close to the floor, out of the way. And then there's 5 foot of actual cupboards built in above that used to be over the top of things like refrigerators. He's got hickory flooring, real hickory. It's got a microwave. It's got a toaster oven. It's got shelves up in the nose of it. It's got barn doors in the back so that you can open those up and be able to stand outside and take a shower right out of there. Got a nice control panel. It's got a diesel heater. The control panel's got the diesel heater controls in it. It's got a 110 volt light with a switch. It's got all of the meters and stuff that you need for solar and 12 volt, showing how much has been used, with the shunt and everything. That's a 5x10 trailer, and with the bed in the up position, I can roll from one end to the other in a office chair. And because it's kind of short, it's only like 5'5" or 5'6" tall, and so I can walk in it, but just slightly stooped over. No big deal. I stoop over anyway when I walk. Anyway, it's also got a dorm refrigerator, the taller one. I think it's like 33 inches tall, and it's got a big top freezer in it with its own door, and it's got a set of a shelf over the top of that, or a counter, I guess you might say it, which got a 3-inch border around that, so that anything sitting on there while you're traveling won't necessarily rattle off and fall. But it's also got a 2-burner propane Dometic stove, or a range top with the lid and everything, brand new. Like I said, it's got the diesel heater, which will heat you out. It's basically all you can need. In my van, which I'm going to be selling, that's I had that, for being able to tow that trailer. That trailer's only got 60 miles on it. I bought it down in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it's all aluminum. When it was empty, brand new, it was 900 pounds, and I've got a 2020 Hyundai Venue, this I'm sitting in right now, and it's supposed to have a 2,800 pound towing capacity, but it just was really working at getting it home, and that's because of the wind resistance, even though it's a V-nose trailer. So I decided I got to have something more powerful than that, so that's why I got the van. But the van used to be an electrician's, and he insulated it because he'd go out on a job site and stay for a week at a time, so he spray foamed the back of it. I put it in a plywood floor, and I've actually got a 1700 watt, 2000 watt surge Champion inverter generator in the back of it that's built into a box with a door you drop down, and you can pull it out to where it's actually outside of the rear of the vehicle for when you run it. And it's also on a turntable so that I can turn it around to access the oil fill and stuff like that, so that I can service it right there on the spot. Pretty nice thing. Now that can or can't go necessarily with the van. When I sell the van, I don't know. We'll see. But I'd like to sell the two of them together if I could. It'd be fantastic for one person to use for hunting or camping, boondocking. I was going to put solar on top of the van and be able to park that out in the sun, and have lithium batteries inside of there too, and be able to, and an inverter, solar controller, a whole bit, which I've got the stuff, but now I'm going to transfer some of that over into my shuttle bus. But that has the van actually has two 110 volt outlets right on the back corner of it. You know, waterproof. They call them shore ports or something like that. Anyway, with extension cords, I could go back to the trailer, which I could leave setting in the shade, and be able to plug in to there to go into a real functioning breaker box for the 110 and be able to charge the batteries in there or just use the 110, whatever. It's quite a nice setup, but my problem with that setup is I'm just getting too old to be going down some trails with that and not be able to turn the thing around. I could unhook it and do it, but it's just so much fiddling around where with a shuttle bus I can scout it out with my lawnmower converted into what they call mud mower, which is the lawnmower with a deck off it and tractor tires built onto it and a hydrostatic transmission. And I can go scout out a trail with that. And that would be parked right between those two toolboxes when those two toolboxes are on the outside of each side of the trailer. There'll be room for the mud mower in between there. So that's my new ideas, and I think I'm gonna like the idea of being able to use the shuttle bus. It'll be a more comfortable ride, and I can certainly get up there and move around and have more room to store stuff and cook and just everything be better. A decent shower, you know. But I've got a problem with my handicap lift right now, which I'm looking into. It's got to have so many interlocks made, such as it's got to be in park, which is normal. It's got to have the parking brake on, which is okay, but it's got to have doors shut and just so many other things that have to be made before it'll send power to the lift. And right now my parking brake isn't showing that it's being made on what they call intelligent lift panel. It's got a bunch of lights that have to come up before it'll send power back to the lift. But I think I can bypass that. I'm an electrician by nature, and I think I can just go in there and bypass all that gobbledygook and put in a new switch that all I got to do is open up the two side doors, flip a switch. That'll energize everything back in the lift area to where the hydraulics will come on, and it'll bypass all the interlocks to where I can then use the I call it a lanyard. It's a control wand that's on a cord that you use to tip it out and let it down and stuff like that. Lift works great if you can just get all past all those interlocks. And I've looked into what needs for that parking brake. It's just a switch that evidently is not made when the parking brake is on. When you release the parking brake, it makes a switch which I guess tells it the parking brake is off. I don't know. But I've seen some videos on how to replace that, and it's a nightmare. It's too much for an old guy like me to crawl around inside of there and to be able to work on that upside down and inside out. So I'm just going to try to do a bypass on that. Anyway, I guess that's enough for this video, and I'm still trying to get a thumbnail to function, and I'll put my Tramp Traveler picture up there as a thumbnail one time, maybe my shuttle bus a second time. But I'm just getting to learn about Facebook, or YouTube, so yeah, I'll probably ask I've been watching a lot of videos on it and Probably ask for a little help from some of you other YouTubers. But anyway, we'll catch you later. Thanks a lot. Take care.